Hello, wonderful ladies and gentlemen. There are some days where I wake up in the morning and I really don't feel like recording. So I say to myself, okay, you don't have to record anything, you don't have to do anything, just have a chill sort of day. You're allowed a day off. Today was one of those days, and I went for a walk like I often do in the morning. And this happens so many times. I go for a walk and then I think of all of you lovely people, and I think I would kind of miss them if I didn't talk to them. So, in the spirit of not missing all of you and loving all of you and wanting to be here with all of you, I thought, fuck it, let's sit down, talk about something. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Maybe this will be a great episode, maybe it won't, but let's all go on the journey of giving ourselves permission to suck and not having a plan and just freestyling it and seeing what happens. So I'll tell you what, maybe we'll have a chill little episode reading out some of your comments. Maybe we can just have a little bit of a free for all. Let's start with this comment I got recently. And this was on a video called, Are You Living in Fear of the What-Ifs? I talked about how a lot of people, a lot of you maybe as well, live in fear and anxiety of like, what if I get rejected? What if I fail? What if I make a mistake? What if people think I'm stupid? What if they think I'm ugly? What if they think I'm not good enough? What if I try and then I fail and I feel worse than if I hadn't tried at all? And so Jordan says, this is exactly the kind of advice I needed to hear 10 years ago, but even if it had been available, I may not have been ready or willing to hear it. It was available. I'm not the first person to say this concept. Hey, if you let go of your fears and live in love or live in excitement or joy, you'll feel better. This is a tale as old as time. This is what Jesus was walking around talking about, 2025 or a little bit more than that years ago. This is what Buddha was talking about basically just as long ago. This is what Marcus Aurelius was talking about with Stoicism. Like, these are not new concepts. I am not presenting any of you with shit that hasn't been available. But exactly like what you said, my brother, I may not have been ready or willing to hear it. I was the same. Do you know how many people told me, Andy, you don't have to suffer, you don't have to grind, you don't have to be miserable, you don't have to believe all of the first thoughts that enter your head, you don't have to mistreat other people, you don't have to lie, you don't have to manipulate. People told me that forever. Like, the whole world is out there saying that. There's lots of people saying the opposite as well. But yeah, sometimes we're just not ready to hear it, and that's okay. Like, that's our journey. We don't have to feel bad that we didn't pick up on these things earlier. And so it's funny that you say this is the kind of advice I needed to hear 10 years ago. No, you probably didn't need it 10 years ago because you weren't ready for it. You needed it now, and that's when you got it. So yeah, everything in its own time. Glad you're here now, my brother, and welcome. Whether we realize it or not, these what-ifs really do often act as a comforting excuse not to take chances. Yeah, I remember you mentioned how depression can almost be a form of arrogance in some ways, that we might think we're too special to change for the better, and that really stuck with me. Yeah, so I actually have an interview coming out. Actually, I can just show it to you. So I'm still in the process of editing this video, but I did this 2-hour recording with this gentleman named Rohan, and he's been in my coaching group 3 times now. He's come back 2 extra times to do even more coaching. He comes about once a year. And this time, when he came, we talked a lot in this interview, which I'm still editing. It'll probably be out, I don't know, a couple of days from now, within a week from now, probably. We talked a lot about the what-ifs and living in fear and anxiety and being able to let those things go. And we talked a lot about being attached to identities and depression, or maybe not the depression itself, but the stories and the identities that come with depression. I am hopeless. I can't change. The world is a dark place. Nobody cares about me. I am a burden. Life sucks. The universe is against me. There is no God. Like, any of those sort of stories, we can become so very attached to them. And why? Because they're serving a purpose. And so he and I talked a lot. Actually, the bit I'm editing now, so I don't know, it's like maybe 30 minutes into the video. We talked a lot about how he was attached to his identity and his story as someone who is perpetually late and hopeless. And so he would run sometimes hours late to things. Like, hanging out with his friend, he'd be a couple of hours late. Going to work, he actually got fired from a job because he was perpetually late. And so we worked through that with him in the coaching group. And one of the first things I said is, look, you right now keep saying that you're a victim, but you're not, brother. You're the one that's doing this. You don't realize you're doing it, and so that's okay. It's not about blame. We're not saying you should stop doing this. Like, no, we'll give you the tools and teach you how to be on time. But understand that you're not the victim here. You are getting something out of being late. and getting stuck on that identity. What are you getting out of it? Complacency, sympathy. Lots of people go, oh my God, that sucks that you lost your job. Oh, that's so awful. And you go, yeah. You get an ego or a form of arrogance where you're like, I'm late and nobody understands me. And he literally said that sentence to me point blank at one point in the coaching. He was like, nobody understands me and you don't understand me. And I kind of hit the pause button for him and I said, brother, I understand you better than you understand yourself. I can tell you why you're late. And then I laid it all out for him. And I said, you're late because you're getting something out of it. You're stuck on an identity. Here's what you're getting out of it. You get to push me and everyone else away and say, nobody understands me. And that feels good. That is an ego boost. It seems like it shouldn't be an ego boost. You're like, how is it an ego boost to say nobody understands you? That means you're extra special. And so, yeah, Jordan, bro, this is like very wise of you, Dan, man, to like remember this. Yes, depression can be that form of, maybe arrogance is a very hard word. Maybe you'd say that point of pride or ego. It's like we get stuck on it. We're like, no one understands me and I can't change and the world is harsh and everyone else is too dumb to understand how much the world sucks. But I, as the depressed person, understand how much it sucks. I was there. I was depressed and suicidal for about 8 or 9 years. That was how I walked around. I was like, the world is a harsh place and everyone who's happy is stupid. I'm better than them. I literally was arrogant and thought I was better than them as a depressed, agoraphobic, suicidal guy who eventually ended up going to prison. I literally, under those circumstances, before I went to prison, was like, I'm better than everyone else because I'm depressed and I can see how hard the world is. A lot of people, maybe even a couple of you listening right now, have that same mindset where you're like, no, Andy's stupid. He thinks that women are nice. He's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know how fucking horrible women can be. They're all bitches and they're all gold diggers and they have it on easy mode. Life is easy for them and it's hard for me. Andy's too stupid to know that. No, you're just stuck in that point of pride because you get something out of it. So it can be really useful to investigate, like, what are we getting out of these labels or these attachments or these stories? I guess you would say these identities. What are we getting out of them? And are we willing to let a little bit of that go and replace it with something higher, something that will serve us better? Because yes, I think all of us can make a pretty general statement here. Depression serves a purpose, but it's not exactly a happy life, is it? Would you rather be depressed or full of love and happiness? Like, you can ask that to literally anyone except maybe the depressed people themselves, and that's kind of proving the point that I'm saying. And pretty much everyone on the planet will be like, well, I'd rather be happy. What the fuck? Even some depressed people, or a lot of depressed people, will say, I don't want to be depressed, I want to be happy. So most of us understand, yeah, happiness feels nicer than depression. But yet, a lot of the time, we just get so stuck on that depression. Or another really big one is incels. Like, even if you don't identify as an incel, but if you're like, I can't get laid, no women are going to like me, no woman would ever date me, I'm worthless, I'm too old, or I'm too short, or I'm too this, I'm bald. Look at me, look at this beautiful bald head. I'm bald. I'm 37 years old. I'm what a lot of you would call old. I'm older than the vast majority of you listening right now. There's quite a lot of you that are a bit older than me, but I'm older than most of you. And I'm bolder than most of you. And I'm skinnier than most of you. I don't have big muscles. Look, I'm kind of like fucking, look at that. I'm kind of fucking fat at the moment. Can't even see the muscle. I just don't see that as a bad thing. If I want to change those things, I can work on them. But a lot of you are so stuck on those identities as like, I'm unlovable, I'm not good enough, no woman would want me, it's too late for me, blah, 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 blah. And then you don't do anything to change. In fact, you feel like you're too special, but in like a negative way, like I'm too fucked up to change. I'm too hopeless to change. I literally had a guy, German guy, shout outs to all the Germans out there. So many of you are German listening. I had a German guy apply for the coaching program like yesterday. And part of what I do for everyone that joins the program is that I will record them a private voice message. Sometimes they're, short. What I call short is like half an hour. But this guy I spoke for like an hour or so and just, gave him a free voice message, a lot of coaching based on what he wrote, because a lot of what he wrote was him being stuck in identities, but wanting to change them. And he did what most people do when they apply for the coaching program, where he said, here's my issues. Like, here's what's wrong with me. He literally used the word issues. And part of the mission of coaching and part of the mission of this channel is to show all of you that these aren't issues. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. I literally said that to him. You're not broken. You're not coming to the coaching program to get fixed. Same thing applies to all of you. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong. I know you like to say that there is, but I'm depressed. That's wrong. It's not wrong. It just is what it is. Would you like to work on being a little bit happier? Because we can do that. It's not a bad thing that you currently don't have any women in your life. Would you like to work on that and maybe have one or two or as many women as you want in your life? Yes, I would. Okay, cool. Let's take the steps. Like, there's no issue. There's no first step that is like a lot of you think the first step is I have to fix my issues. No, the first step is realizing there are no issues. There are only opportunities. There's nothing wrong. We don't have to like get to work. You're not like going into fucking hospital or going into surgery. Like, coaching in this channel is not hospital. You're not broken and you need to be fucking patched up. Otherwise you might die. It's really not that serious. I know it seems serious in your brain because you've built it up, but I need to get laid. It's the worst thing in the world that I can't get laid. It's like, bro, this isn't the ER. Like, you haven't dialed 911 and been fucking taken here in an ambulance going, oh my God, I'm going to die because I haven't had sex. Oh my God, I'm going to die. I haven't had sex. I know sometimes it seems like that because you build it up, and God knows society can build up sex and money and success and goals and all of that and make it feel like you're in a crisis just because you don't have a Lamborghini, or you're a fucking pussy because you don't know how to talk to women and you get scared around them. There's nothing wrong. There's an opportunity for you to level your character up. You can kind of think of it like life is a big video game, and I'm probably going to do a video on this. I've written notes for this because there's a really good Mark Manson article that I like. This one here, Life is a Video Game, Here are the Cheat Codes. I'm going to take the same title and add my own spin on it and talk about my concepts, because he doesn't quite go into some of the concepts that I do. But the general point of what he talks about here is that you can think that you're a video game character, and the only goal of life is simple. It's to level up your character, like to gain levels, to grind experience. And it doesn't have to be a painful grind, but like to go out there and suck. And the same way that you start a video game, your character fucking sucks at the start. You probably die a bunch of times. But you don't like beat yourself up over that. You're just like, right, I'm going to suck. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me go explore. I want to just be able to survive. You know, like he said, here's the levels of life, basically. And I want to figure this life thing out and evolve my character. You can kind of think of all of you as the exact same. You're in the exact same position. You come here thinking, I'm broken. I don't know how to get a girlfriend. I don't know how to get a man. I don't know how to make money, whatever it might be. I'm fat. Whatever you think the problem is, that just means your character is at level 1. It's not a bad thing. Maybe you're at level 0. Who fucking knows? Most of you are not at level 1 anyway. You're at like level 3. Like, you don't know literally zero about women or men or money or losing weight. Like, you know something. Maybe you're a low level character. You're like level 1 or level 2 or level 3. Cool. The only mission of the channel and the only mission of my coaching is go, how can we get to level 2, then level 3, then level 4, then we'll see how far we can go. This is fun. Like, it's not that you're coming here going, I'm only level 1, that means I'm a fucking failure. No, it just means you haven't leveled your character up yet. So yeah, exactly like what Jordan says here. Depression, maybe we'll just say any identity. We don't have to single out depression, but any identity or label that we get stuck on just keeps us at that level. And it can be a form of, maybe we won't say arrogance, but pride or ego. You see this a lot with people who say, I'm neurodivergent. I'm autistic. I have ADHD. And it's one thing to recognize some of those traits in yourself and then start working with them and evolving and leveling up your character. It's a whole other thing to do what most people do with those labels, and they just cling onto that label and they say, I'm autistic, therefore I'm not going to bother learning social cues. I'm not going to bother learning to communicate with people. I'm not going to embrace giving myself permission to suck. I'm not even going to try. What's the point? I'm autistic. You know, I have said it many times. I haven't got a formal diagnosis, but it wouldn't be that difficult to take a guess that I might be on the autism spectrum. Cool. Then I'm going to learn how to talk to people. And that's all I've done. It's like, how do I make friends? How do I talk to people? What is a conversation? What are social cues? Wait, what if I skip social cues entirely and just be honest with people and don't feel like I have to fucking read their signals and shit? Because fuck that. That shit's too difficult. What if I'm just honest? What if I can't read someone's signals and I say, hey, what did you mean by that? Because I'm not really sure. And then they go, oh, okay, here's what I meant. And then they fucking tell me. Or I go, hey, I'll be honest, I'm kind of in my own head right now. I'm a little bit nervous. Like, are you feeling nervous? How do you feel? Like I can just communicate with that person. I don't have to try and like mind read them or some shit. Use the fucking Jedi Force powers on them to try and read their mind. No, I can just ask. Same with ADHD. I absolutely fucking am the most ADHD person you're ever going to meet. And I talked about this here, this video up here. That is a photo that I took back when I was doing my 365-day project. That's an energy drink in my hand. And so this video was about learning how to love yourself, and that you don't, like I even say, labels and diagnoses aren't always helpful. Sometimes they can be. You know, a lot of people benefit a lot from learning, hey, I have some ADHD traits, but you are not your ADHD. You are not your alcoholism. You are not your porn addiction. You are not your height. You are not your gender. You are not any of these labels that you might put on yourself to limit yourself. And what I talked about in this video is if you want to get a diagnosis, fine. Or if you want to figure out what traits you have, fine. Then do something about them. And I literally, okay, there's no timestamps in this video, but if you watch the video, I literally give a whole bunch of strategies of like how I've leveled up being an AD or having an ADHD brain. Like I've literally looked at my brain and said, okay, I have an ADHD brain. That's the one I was given. Sweet. How do I level this up? How does it work? What traits does ADHD come with? Does it mean that I can't fucking focus? Yes. Okay. How do I learn to focus? That's where Buddhism and meditation has come in. That's helped unbelievably so much. Having a calendar. I have a calendar for literally everything all the time because otherwise I'll forget. I set alarms for like everything. If I'm going to hang out with my friend, I need a fucking alarm. Otherwise I'll forget. I block social media. Most of social media is blocked for me because otherwise I'll doom scroll. I'll just click on shit with my fucking ADHD brain, which, by the way, most of you these days have an ADHD brain as well. Social media gave all of us ADHD. And then I guess the COVID times and everybody staying home and being scared of each other gave everyone slight autism as well. So, hey, welcome to the club. But these traits are just things that you can improve and level up. So, yeah, a lot of people get stuck on these labels, and maybe I wouldn't use the word arrogance again. I'd say like pride or ego. It's a limiting belief. Depression comes with a lot of limiting beliefs and stories that literally aren't true. ADHD, autism, neurodivergency, this, that, the other, my height, my age, all of that. It comes with a lot of limiting beliefs that are literally not true. It's just that we're too afraid to go out there and really be vulnerable and do a lot of the work that it might take. And it doesn't take a lot of work, but just doing a little bit to show ourselves, hey, wait, maybe it's not true. Like again, the German guy that just applied for the coaching program, one of his limiting beliefs was, I think I'm on the autism spectrum. And so I'm worried that that means I will never be able to empathize with other human beings ever again. And I was like, bro, I'm probably on the autism spectrum. Am I empathetic with people? Yes, I just learned how to do that. Like these are just traits that you can learn. It's just behaviors you can learn. Like you're never stuck. I talk about this a lot actually in the Play to Win video course, particularly this chapter, growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And I talk about how most people think that certain things are fixed, like they're stuck. There's nothing you can do about it. It's hopeless. You know, I have ADHD, therefore I can never focus and concentrate. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, have a growth mindset about this. I have ADHD. How do I learn how to focus? I might need to put 10 times more effort into learning how to focus. Great. Go do that. I might need to sit on a rock and practice fucking meditating and get really frustrated and be distracted by everything and learn some Buddhism and all of that. And it might take a year. Might take less, might take more. I don't know. Great. Go do that. I might need to have a calendar and an alarm and reminders for literally everything. Otherwise, I'll forget things. Cool. Do that. Like, it's not difficult. It's just that we make it impossible by having a fixed mindset. We literally say nothing can be done. There's a really good quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So in other words, if you think a situation is fixed and stuck, or if you think there's something that you can do about it, you'll be correct either way. Like your mindset dictates like the action that you'll take. That's such an obvious statement, but we often forget about the mindsets. Another chapter in the Play to Win video course is playing to win instead of playing not to lose. If you sit there and say something's stuck or I'm depressed and I can't change or blah, 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 and depression is its own sort of thing. Like it comes with extra senses of hopelessness and all of that. But at the same time, just because you're depressed doesn't mean that you're special. It doesn't mean that all the self-improvement mindsets don't apply to you. It doesn't mean that everything that's in this video course, for instance, doesn't apply just because you're depressed. Yeah, it does. It's just that the depressed person usually has a lot of barriers and hopelessness. Hopelessness can be a shield that stops you from taking action. It's not a very fun shield, but it can be a shield. So yeah, plenty of that in the Play to Win video course. If you want to grab a copy of this, you can pay whatever you want. It's paid by donation. There's a link down below in the description. All right, let's keep reading. The best time to realize and internalize this, as in these mindsets, was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. Yeah, but again, you can go even, like, I love that quote. It's a Chinese proverb. But you can go even further on that and say, no, the best time to realize this is the exact moment that I realize it. Like, we don't live in the hypothetical. You're not really, man. I know you're just sort of making a statement, but you're kind of making the statement of like, man, I kind of wish I'd heard this 10 years ago. That's the hypothetical timeline that we don't exist in. We can't jump between timelines. Like, we're not some fucking Marvel superhero who can change timelines and all of that sort of stuff. We don't have the power of time. We live in this one time dimension, it seems like, this one timeline. You are in the timeline where you didn't know these things 10 years ago. Cool. That sounds like a great timeline to be in, but we often look back at the past and we look forward at the future, and we live in anxiety, fear, worry, regret, grief, frustration, anger, all of that kind of stuff. And we say, I kind of wish, I know you're not super angry, but there's a little bit of you that say, man, I kind of wish I'd heard this 10 years ago. It's like, why? You heard it now. Do you know how many billions of things you don't know right now? Me too. There are billions of things that all of us listening don't know right now. Should we get frustrated about all of that? No, you just don't know what you don't know. And then you'll realize some of that stuff. You'll have a big epiphany and you'll go, oh my fucking God, why didn't I know this like a year ago? And it's like, what do you mean? Because there's like a billion of these things. Your brain only has a limited amount of space. You only have a limited amount of time. You're seemingly stuck in this one, or I guess you'd say these three dimensions, like I guess 4 dimensions if you take time. You are in this exact location right now, wherever you're listening to this. You are in this exact moment in time, whatever time you're listening to this. You can't just like teleport to a different time and space. You can get in your car and drive, but you're always in the exact moment in time, in the exact space in time that you're in. And so maybe you needed to go somewhere else to have an epiphany. You literally weren't over there having that epiphany over there because you were right here, right now, having this epiphany right now. Like, you're busy having epiphanies and learning and growing. And it can be so easy to say, yeah, but I should have been over there having that different epiphany 10 years ago. It's like, but you weren't. You were busy having the epiphany. You were on your journey. Like, you're walking a path, but then looking around and saying, maybe I should be on that path. I wish I'd been on that path. I wish I'd done that path over there earlier. Man, I wish I'd done that path. And again, Jordan, I know you're not getting, or it doesn't seem like you're super upset about this, but it can be fun to play around with these concepts of like, why was the best time to realize this 10 years ago? By that logic, no, wrong. The best time to learn all of this was when you were exactly 0 years old. The moment you were born, that was the best time to know literally everything that you could ever know in the entire universe. And you didn't know everything the moment you were born, so you failed. It was too late. You should have learned everything earlier. Like, no matter what, everything we learn in our life, we can always play the game of saying, I should have known this earlier. That will always be true. Literally. Even the earliest shit you ever learned to do, like the first time you ever smiled as a baby. I don't know when babies start smiling. Like, it's got to be a couple of weeks into being born, right? Like 2 months into being born? I really don't know. Kind of curious now. Good morning, ChatGPT, you absolute living legend. When do babies first start smiling?
Good morning. Babies typically start smiling around 6 to 12 weeks old. Those early smiles can be a
Okay,
lovely
stop.
milestone.
Thanks. Love you. Goodbye. See ya.
Take care. Bye.
All right, so 6 to 12 weeks. Perfect. So you could say, I failed. I missed the boat by 6 weeks. Why didn't I smile when I was first born? And it's like, because you literally didn't know how to use your facial muscles. Same thing here. You literally said it in the first sentence. Man, why didn't I learn this? Why didn't I know this 10 years ago? Why didn't I internalize this 10 years ago? You literally said, I probably just wasn't ready or willing to hear it. I couldn't do it. The same way a baby can't smile when it's first born. And you could be like, why didn't you smile when you were first born? It's like, because he didn't know how. Literally, the facial muscles wouldn't work. The same thing here. Whatever epiphanies you feel like I should have had this 10 years ago, Your brain just wasn't ready to receive that. You literally didn't have, I mean, the brain is a muscle. So literally you didn't have the muscles, just like a baby doesn't have the muscles to smile. You couldn't do it. The same thing applies to any of you that are living in regret, which is a hell of a lot of you. Forgiveness comes from realizing that you were always doing the best that you could in every single moment with the tools and the information that you had in that moment. It's so easy to look back on your past self and be like, I should have done better. And it's like, shoulda, woulda, coulda. If you could have done better, then fucking do it. If it's that easy, then snap your fingers, because future you right now is talking shit about current you. Like in the future, you're going to be looking back to this moment right now, and future you, if you continue this trend, is going to go, oh man, I should have known that epiphany. I really should have worked harder at the gym. I should have done a better job. You'll just perpetually do that. Future you will always talk shit about current you until you stop that cycle of abuse. And it is a cycle of abuse. We think that it's helpful. Nah, son, it's just bullying. It doesn't help to be like, I wish I lived in a different timeline. That is the definition of hopelessness and making yourself a victim. That's not empowerment. That is the definition of, fuck, I missed out. It's too late. There's nothing I can do. Oh my God, why didn't I learn this epiphany earlier? It's like, because you didn't. And so again, I will state it and underline it. You are always doing, and your past self was always doing, the best you could in every moment with the information that you had at the time. I believe it was Socrates or Seneca, one of those two, who said every man or every person is doing what they believe to be the highest good in every moment, including fucking Hitler, by the way. Literally everyone is trying to do the best they can. They might be a complete train wreck to all the rest of us. We look at them and go like, what the fuck are you doing, Hitler? And he's like, no, this is like good for Germany. Like, this is what God fucking told me to do. Like, this is important. We need to do this. And everyone else is like, bro, you're tripping on some wild shit right now. I'm sure that's what the Allies in Britain and America and that said during the World War, right? They're like, whoa, this Hitler dude is tripping balls. I'm sure that's the exact fucking sentence that was said. But the point is that everyone's trying to do what they believe. Sometimes they're misguided. Sometimes they are literally incorrect. A lot of the time they're literally incorrect. But they are doing what they believe to be the best that they can in that moment. You were doing the same. All right. I'll continue reading. You say, in the last few months, since integrating these videos into my regular routine and really listening to the message in each, I've made some big changes in my mindset by moving away from the patterns that only hurt and limited me. That's so fucking cool, man. That's so fucking beautiful. That is the point of the channel, is to get all of you to sort of just think a little bit more deeply about yourself and people around you and life, and start, if you want to, rewriting those thought patterns. Like, you're literally rewriting your brain. Like, understand that the brain is not fixed. That, again, I talk about that in my Play to Win video course. But if I can give you a big epiphany, all of you, Jordan, you already know this, but if I can give all of you a big epiphany, it's that your brain is not stuck. Your brain is not like a tablet, you know, like the tablet that the 10 Commandments were supposedly written on. It's not a fucking rock that you chisel into and then you can never rewrite it. It's set in stone. The brain is not set in stone. The brain is like a computer that you can constantly rewrite, and you are in control of the software. Your brain comes with software already installed on it, and a lot of it is bloatware. A lot of it is just fucking nonsense software that's literally incorrect and wrong. A lot of your thinking patterns are like literally incorrect. And when I say incorrect, I mean they literally don't line up with reality. A lot of people are factually wrong. Like, if you're a guy that believes it's too late for me, I can never get a woman, that is literally incorrect. Like, it is literally a false, incorrect error. It's not a true statement. And so your brain comes with erroneous software, you could say. Or maybe it's a software that serves a purpose, or it served a purpose earlier, and it's no longer serving much of a purpose for you anymore. It's maybe keeping you stuck. You're allowed to delete that software. And some of the software doesn't want you to delete it. It's like a fucking virus. It's like a mind virus. So it might take a couple of rounds of deletion and letting it go. And then you might have to replace it with software that works a little bit better, because the mind doesn't just like to let go of things without replacing it with some higher level of thinking or something else. The mind is very attached to a lot of things. But the point that I'm making is your brain and the computer that is your brain, you're in control of the software that's on it. You're in control of the thoughts in your head. You're in control of the actions that you take. Or maybe you would say it like this: the thoughts are going to be there, but you're in control of what you do about those thoughts. You don't have to react to every single thought. You don't have to believe every thought. So our brains are not stuck. They're not set in stone. It's like an operating system or a computer that we can constantly rewrite. And that is the point of the channel, is to help you, if you want to, rewrite your brain in a way that serves you better. Like literally by just being more positive, and as Jordan says here, by making some big changes in his mindset. I assume you're a guy. Making some changes in his or her mindset, you literally go through life a lot easier. You succeed a lot more. You're a lot happier. The people around you like you more. It's like, great, everything's positive. So yeah, my mission here is to just give all of you the tools and help you figure out who you want to be, how you want to write your brain. Because again, the brain comes with a lot of software already installed. And then school just goes and installs a whole lot more. The government and the news and the media and now social media and experts and all of that. And your family and your friends, people are just like fucking writing software to your brain constantly. It's probably a very noisy place for a lot of you. Mine used to be. Still is sometimes. I would say far less now. My brain's pretty quiet and peaceful. And that's just like Buddhism and meditation and the Play to Win video course and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, a lot of you have a lot of noisy bloatware software in your brain. And the point of the channel is to help you let go of some of that and choose what you want to put in your brain. I'm never going to tell you what to put in. I'll give you suggestions. My biggest suggestion is the Play to Win video course. It is literally a course on building a winner's mindset, like rewriting your brain in a way that you choose. But I'm never going to tell you, any of you, what to do. All right, so you go on to say things such as giving up the limiting beliefs. Yeah, the erroneous software, bloatware. That's what limiting beliefs are. They are bloatware. They're a virus. You can just say they're a virus because they literally stop you from doing what you want to do. They make the operating system not work properly. Like all of you are absolutely capable of greatness. You're capable of so much absolute amazing success and goals and all of that. It's just you have a bunch of viruses on your brain, in your brain, the limiting beliefs. I can't do that. It's too late for me. I'm too old. She won't like me. I'm too short. I'm too fat. It's never going to work out. The universe is a harsh place. Women suck. Men suck. Like that's all viruses because you didn't choose to put them there, did you? Did any of you wake up and say, I'd really like to have a limiting belief in my head that the world sucks and that women are horrible? No. Most of you want to be proven wrong. You literally say, I wish I could find a nice woman, or I wish I could find a decent guy. Like you literally want to be proven wrong. And so you didn't choose to put that mind virus or that limiting belief there. Other people did, or your experiences, and then you didn't contextualize those experiences properly, or you were traumatized by those experiences. Like you walked up to a woman, hit on her, and she was like, no, thank you. And you didn't know, oh, that's okay. I'll be okay. I can just go talk to the next woman. You were traumatized by it. You're like, oh my God, see, this is my biggest fear. She said no. Oh my God, I can't do this again. Like you went through some trauma and that's okay. But all of that is just a mind virus. It's got a hold on you. And if you can let go of it a little bit and replace it with a thinking pattern that's a little more healthy, or maybe I'd say a little more helpful, because it doesn't help you achieve your goals to be like, women suck and I'm never going to make it. It's like, I think we all know that that doesn't lead to success. So my mission here is to help you replace it with some thinking patterns that are maybe not limiting. In other words, replace it with abundant beliefs instead of limiting beliefs, or infinite beliefs. I don't know what you call it. Abundant? I mean, that's what a lot of you want, right? You're like, I want that abundance mentality. You literally say you want an abundant belief system. I want to believe there's enough out there for me. There's enough out there for the people that I do it with. There's enough out there for everyone. Like a lot of you want that. You want that mindset. So maybe we're replacing limiting beliefs with abundance beliefs. You go on to say no longer resisting positive affirmations. Yeah, it's funny how the mind gets really stuck, hey? And it's like, I don't want to think positively. And it's like, okay, so you're literally admitting you want to be negative. You're literally admitting you want to feel bad. And sometimes the answer is, yeah, I do. Why? Because it's serving a purpose. Again, we get sympathy, we get complacency. If we say I'm stuck and the world sucks and all of that, we don't have to try. It's like safe. But as I talked about in this here video that I'm still editing with Rohan, I said there's a big difference between safe and happy. And a lot of our limiting beliefs, or a lot of the way that, some of you maybe go through the world sometimes, is your brain is trying to keep itself safe. And so you worry about everything. You're anxious, you're fearful, you're afraid, you're scared of rejection, you're scared of looking silly, you're scared of ever being a black sheep. You're operating under, like you're trying to maximize your safety to just never get yelled at, never get criticized, never get conflict, blah, blah, blah. You're avoiding conflict. You're avoiding failure. You're avoiding learning and growing. And so that safety that you're chasing doesn't necessarily lead to happiness. Safety and happiness, where are my hands? Safety and happiness are two separate things. You got safety here, happiness here. Those two are not necessarily the same thing, but a lot of your fears and limiting beliefs will keep you safe, but they won't lead to long-term happiness. Or maybe you'll be happy in the short term. Like, it feels pretty nice to not go outside and hit on girls so that you don't get rejected and just sit at home playing video games. That feels good. I love video games. Holy shit. Give me some Zelda. Give me a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3, which I still haven't finished. Still haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom. My God, those games came out, what, like 2 years ago at this point? Just play them every now and then, every couple of weeks a little bit. I love video games. I'm a fucking slut for video games. Clip that. Save that. Andy fucking Walls is a motherfucking whore. I will bend over backwards for a video game. Peg my beautiful fucking bald ass. I would love to be pegged by video games. That's how much I love video games. But if I sit there and just play video games all my life, that's not happiness. It's safety. No one can reject me. If I just stopped doing this YouTube channel, stopped coaching people, and just got like a normal job and just came home and played video games all the time, I'd be very safe. This job is not necessarily super safe. It's not super consistent to be an entrepreneur. Maybe it is one day when you 5-10 years into it, but I'm still on that journey. We're not at the point where this is safe. It's definitely not safe to put yourself on the internet where you have an open comment section. That's definitely not safe. But it does make me happy. And so at some point I let go of my obsession with safety and I moved more towards like, how can I be happy? So again, that's that interview coming out with Rohan. We talked about that quite a lot, but yeah, when we can let go of resisting positive affirmations, let go of our limiting beliefs, and stop trying to be so goddamn safe all the time. Like, sometimes safety is literally antithetical to happiness. We definitely saw that during 2020, 2021, like all the COVID shit, all the lockdowns. So many people were like, I only care about safety and fuck happiness. And it's like, that's why you're drinking like a bottle of whiskey every single day. That's why you're having suicidal thoughts. That's why you now have given yourself ADHD and autism by staying at home doing nothing but doom scrolling for like 2 years straight and wearing a mask and being afraid of essentially a fucking flu. Like, because of all of that, you tried to maximize safety and you neglected happiness. We could have done both. You could have taken the same steps to be safe if you wanted to and also be happy. You didn't have to sacrifice your happiness just for safety. You could have had both. And so the same thing here. That's why I never tell any of you to do anything that might be scary for you. I will help facilitate you taking action, and maybe you might be slightly uncomfortable sometimes with those actions, but I'm never going to make you do something really terrifying and scary. I'm never going to say, all right, faggot, go out there and talk to 10 women today. And you're like, oh my God, I can't. I don't even know how to talk to women. I'm never going to be like, come on, pussy, stop being a pussy. Do you really want to be a fucking pussy? Don't you want to have a bald head and wear sunglasses and have a beard and have a Lamborghini and fucking be a top G? Don't you want to be that? Fucking what's wrong with you, pussy? Little fucking pussy. No, I'll say, okay, what can you do? What would you like to do? If you can't go and talk to women, would you like to walk around and try smiling at one? Oh, I don't know that I can do that. I'm too scared. Okay, that's okay. You don't have to do that. Do you think you could walk around thinking about talking to a woman? Like, you just go for a little stroll and you see a cute girl and you just think, what would it be like to say hello to her? You don't have to do it. I'm not going to tell you to do it, but just think about it. Could you do that? And they're like, yeah, I think I could do that. Do you want to go try that today? Okay, I'll try that and I'll tell you what happens. And then they do that. They do that for a week. And then at some point they go, fuck it. Why don't I just say hi to that girl? They walk over, they're nervous, they're shit. They hit on her. Before they know it, they've hit on a bunch of women. Maybe they have a girlfriend or they have sex or maybe they get married and live happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. And so we start with little baby steps. Right, I'll keep reading. So he goes on to say, he's also stopped qualifying them with, yes, but. Yeah, I know, bro. The word but, if any of you can just eliminate the word but, your entire life will go so much better. Instead of using the word but, try saying the word and it immediately stops you being defensive and it opens your mind up. The word but is you literally closing your mind down. It's cynicism, and cynicism is a closing of the mind. So try saying yes and, or yes and here's this other thing, or yes, I get what you're saying and here's what I think, rather than yes, I get what you're saying, but. Because as soon as you hear the word but, you immediately shut down your brain. The other person, their defenses come up. The word but is essentially an attack. And you might be like, how's it an attack? What the fuck? No, it's not. It's my favorite quote, or one of my favorite quotes from Byron Katie. Defense is the first act of war. As soon as you start defending, And the other person will get defensive. If you say but, they'll get defensive almost all the time, a little bit in their head. And there you go. Now we're not on the same page. So if you can say, yeah, I get your point, and here's my point. They're like, oh, cool. You used the word and. You didn't disagree with what I said. It is possible to love chocolate without hating vanilla. Here's a more relevant example. It is possible to love pineapple on pizza without denigrating and hating people who don't like pineapple on pizza. Holy shit, ready? I'm going to blow all your fucking minds here. Let's get full screen. I know a lot of you already know this, but some of you don't. Ready? Watch this. Ready? It is possible to be politically left and love and respect people who are politically right. And, wait for it, it is possible to be politically right and love and respect people who are politically left. Holy shit. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. I can't believe it. And a lot of us hear that logically. We're like, yeah, I know, but they're bad. And you're like, oh, sweet innocent child. You're doing your best, but yeah, you got a judgmental brain, which we all do. I do. My brain judges as well. And that's the software or the bloatware that was pre-installed on all of our brains. Our brains came with judgmentalism. They came with making things this versus that, good versus bad, men versus women. This guy's evil, this guy's good. I like that guy. Oh, he did something I don't like. Now I hate him. Like, our brains have that bloatware software where they make things very, very, very fucking binary. It's either the worst, the best thing in the entire world or the worst thing in the entire world, and nowhere in between. But part of letting go of that software is realizing that almost everything is a spectrum. Nobody is pure perfect and nobody is pure evil. Women are not fucking pure evil and men are not fucking perfect little angels. It's a spectrum in between, or each person is an individual, blah, 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 blah. A lot of you know that logically, but it can be harder in the moment. So the same with left versus right. There are lots of beautiful, wonderful human beings on the right. There are lots of beautiful, wonderful human beings on the left. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, we can all come together and hold hands and be like, kumbaya, let's stop war. Yay, Andy stopped war. But like, legitimately, if people would just stop seeing the other person as the enemy, all war disappears. But that's a little bit more of a, I guess, challenge in practice. That is literally the definition of enlightenment. That is what enlightenment means. Letting go of this versus that thinking, good versus bad. It's a journey. I'm still on that journey. I still judge sometimes too, to be very clear. I've just let go of a lot of it. And it's a much more peaceful way to be. Life is so nice when you don't walk around judging everything as good or bad or this or that, or, hey, you have a different opinion to me. That's wrong. You know, I saw a comment, or Cam was going to share a comment with me yesterday, and I said, no, you don't have to share it, man. Where someone had like disagreed with something that I said. And I was like, all I'm going to say to that, if I was to do a video on that, which I guess this is me doing a video on that, all I'd ever say is your opinion and my opinion can coexist and we can be friends. Ta-da! Like, that's it. Like, you having a different opinion to me or disagreeing with me doesn't invalidate mine, and my opinion doesn't invalidate yours. We're both just saying what's on our mind. Maybe we come together and talk and we both come to a different sense of truth. Maybe we learn something from each other. But if we can, instead of saying yes, but, if we can swap that out for yes and, you know, whereas a lot of the time when someone will disagree in the comment section, they'll be like, wrong. And then my brain shuts down because you just said, or they'll say the word but. Hey, Andy, I love this video, but as soon as I hear the word but, my brain shuts down a little bit. And I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. Like, we all have that defensiveness. And then I work through that and I say, no, Andy, come on, take a deep breath. Like, think, let go, listen to what they have to say. But you make it 10,000 times easier on yourself if you let go of the word but. Like, I'm telling all of you, this can be a life-changing thing. If you swap the word but out for the word and. Like, imagine if someone said, hey, Andy, I love this video, and here's my 2 cents. I'd be like, fuck yeah, brother. Let's hear it. Let's go, baby. But as soon as you're like, I love this video, but I'm like, I don't care. Like, I just immediately, I don't care. And then, like I said, I will let go of that and go, no, Andy, come on. You want to be open-minded. Listen to what they have to say. But I have to do the work. I have to literally do some work to be able to listen to an opinion. So everyone else out there is the same. Someone will go, you know, I hate the right and they're bad and blah, blah, blah. And they're not going to listen to anything you have to say. Or people on the left are bad and blah, blah, blah. Here's why they're literally fucking evil Nazis. And you're like, they're definitely not going to listen to you now. So if we can replace the word but with and, life is a lot smoother. And that didn't come from me. That came from Byron Katie. This lovely woman here. She wrote the book, Loving What Is. Look at that cute little grandma. Don't you just want to give her a hug? She's such an absolute sweetie. All right, so he's letting go of yes buts and accepting that you're worthy enough as I am. Fuck yeah, my man or my woman. To pursue what I want most now while continuing to work on self-improvement in parallel. Hell yeah. It's a wild notion, hey, to be like, I'm good enough as I am and I want to work on some goals and work on improving things. Again, even if you're a level 1 character in certain things, you know, like your character in the video game or your character in real life, you are only a level 1 when it comes to talking to the opposite sex. Cool. How do we get you to level 2? Like, it's okay to be level 1. If I'm going to tell any of you anything, if you're going to take anything from this video, it's okay if you're a level 1 character or a level 0 character. That's not a bad thing. That means you just started the game. And you're like, no, I started the game 37 years ago. Fine, whatever. You're now starting this fucking side quest. This quest, this main quest or this side quest of I want to get good with women, you've now only just started that quest. Yeah, you're going to fucking suck at that quest. Or you might suck at that quest. You might be a natural, who knows. You've just started the quest. It's not a bad thing that you didn't complete all of the quests the moment that you started the video game. Imagine you got your fucking loading screen, go through there, you got your main menu, start new game. You're like, oh, okay, you watch your little cutscene, and then you're like, bro, I failed this fucking game. Hey, I'm shit at video games. And your friend is like, bro, what are you how did you fail? We just watched the cutscene, bro. Like you're now going through the tutorial. Why are you failing? You're like, bro, look at the fucking quest log, dog. There's already like 2 quests in there. Like, go finish the tutorial. I haven't even done it. Bro, I haven't even done the first step of the... I don't know what the fucking buttons are. The joystick, I'm pushing the fucking joystick. I'm going forward and backwards. So I guess I figured that out. But like, what the fuck, bro? I don't know the controls. I don't know how to fucking dodge and attack. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, dog. I'm so shit at video game. Bro, why... You know what? I'm not even going to try. You throw the fucking controller in the bin. You throw the game out the window. You hit some poor person on the street. They're like, what the fuck? I know games are mostly digital these days anyway. So you throw the fucking bits, you throw the ones and zeros at someone out the window. That would be insane and absurd. Yet that is what we do in life. That is what a lot of you are doing. That is what a hell of a lot of you are doing. You're like, I just started this side quest and I haven't completed it. Therefore, I suck. And it's like, you just haven't done the side quest yet. What do you mean? You don't suck. Just do the side quest. Or the main quest, just like go fucking start. You might need to do the tutorials. You might need to figure out the controls. You're going to probably die a whole bunch of times. Luckily in life, you won't die a bunch of times, but you'll feel like you failed a bunch of times. You just haven't done the thing. You're not bad. It's as absurd as starting up the game and saying, I failed. What's the point? Why even try? I fucking failed. That's a lot of you. So yes, you're all worthy enough and you're all absolutely capable of pursuing what you want now. You are. It's just a bunch of side quests and missions, guys. Like, if a bunch of you are fucking dirty nerds just like me, you probably all would bend over and get pegged by video games just like me. You love your video games, most of you. And so take that same mindset with life. What if you just treated life like a fucking video game? What if you're like, hey, there's a bunch of side quests. I don't know what I'm doing with women. Cool, that's the next side quest I'll work on. Sweet. How long will that take? I don't know. A year, 2 years? Who fucking knows? Let's play. Let's go. And by the way, you'll do other side quests while you're on that main quest. Like, getting with women or getting a boyfriend or a husband, that's a main quest. You'll do a bunch of side quests. Maybe you'll improve your appearance. Maybe you'll make some friends. Maybe you'll love yourself. Maybe you'll read some Buddhism. Maybe you'll watch my content. I don't fucking know. You'll do a bunch of side quests while you tackle that main quest. Once that main quest is done, you'll go, oh, what could I do now? That was really fun. I got these beautiful women in my life or this husband or whatever. Damn, that was really cool. I want to make some money. Damn, that'd be fun. What a main quest. Okay, put that in my quest log. That's my main quest. What side quests do I want to do while I do that? Well, I probably need to read some books on entrepreneurial shit. I probably want to work on my mindset because I have a lot of limiting beliefs, so that'll be fun. Maybe I'll network. Ooh, that'll be fun. What product or service would I sell? All right, that'll be the first quest. That's the first step of the quest. Figure out what I want. How would I figure that out? Maybe I just try selling a bunch of shit and see what works. Okay, that sounds really cool. Like, imagine if you just played this like a video game instead of taking it so fucking seriously, like it's life or death. I'm going to die. I'm going to the ER emergency room because they don't have a girlfriend. Andy, please help. I'm a fucking loser because I don't have a woman. It's like, what are you talking about? Just start the fucking quest. This is your main quest. Just go. Just start. If you don't know what the first steps are, I will tell you. I have a whole bunch of videos on what the first steps are, though. Probably the first video to start with is this one at the start. How to start your goals right now. Baby steps walkthrough. I literally hold your hand. Look at that cute thumbnail. That's me as a baby. It's not even photoshopped. That's actually what I look like as a baby. I was born bald with a beard. That's me as a baby. I literally in that video walk you through how to get started with any goals. So you can just search on my channel for baby steps. But yeah, imagine if you took this like video game mindset to all of your goals and didn't take it so seriously. Life is a fucking video game, guys. You can see it as as a bunch of main quests and side quests. You can see yourself as a level 0 or level 1 character. Doesn't mean you failed, it just means you haven't fucking done the quests yet. And you will level up as you do them. It's not about being worthy. Like, would you play a video game and be like, I'm not worthy of playing this video game? No, you just be like, I'm gonna fucking play the video game and I'll probably suck and then I'll get good. It's fun. Imagine if you had that same fun mindset with life. Life can be more fun, 10 trillion times more fun than video games if you would just let yourself have fun. But a lot of you are like, no, I have to take this seriously. This is never allowed to be fun. I'm a pussy if I don't succeed. I need to treat it like a grind and a hustle. I'm on that Sigma male grind set and I have to do a fucking perfect job. And a lot of you probably watch these fucking Sigma male grind set memes with the music, that little slowed down fucking funk song. You all know what I'm talking about. You watch Patrick Bateman and you're like, I gotta go on that Sigma male grind set. Fuck you, son. Trust no one. Rely on yourself. Grind, grind, grind. If you're not working 18 hours a day, you're a fucking pussy. You go and like Google Andrew Tate. You're like, yeah, Andrew Tate. I'm gonna prove you. I'm gonna make you proud, daddy. Oh fuck, don't die a loser. Oh god, I'm a loser. Why am I a fucking loser? Oh god, I gotta grind. Oh daddy, I'm grinding. Daddy, can I come? No, okay, edge myself. Okay. Daddy Tate, I won't come until I have my Lamborghini. I'll come on the front seat of my Lamborghini, Daddy Tate. I make myself laugh sometimes, but you get the point. Like, a lot of the time we obsess about that like grind set and suffering. What if you just treated video game or life as a video game? What if you're like, hey, this could be fun. This would be nice. What main quest do I want to work on now? This quest. Oh, cool. What side quest will I go on first? You'll have a lot more fun. You'll achieve a lot more. You won't be such a miserable bastard or a miserable bitch. It's okay to be miserable, but you'll probably have a lot more fun if you see it as a video game. All right, so it goes on to say, accepting I'm worthy enough as I am to pursue what I want now while continuing to work on self-improvement in parallel, life already feels a lot less daunting, yet more hopeful and rewarding in the day-to-day atmosphere. Thanks a lot for everything you do. Cool fucking star emoji that reminds me of this. So fucking reminds me. The more you know. Actually, a bunch of you will probably want the music for nostalgia. Here you go. Thanks, NBC. I appreciate you. So yeah, I appreciate that comment, Jordan, Mr. or Mrs. Jordan. Good job. Much love to you. And yeah, imagine if we all saw life as a fucking video game and we didn't treat my channel or my coaching as a trip to the ER room. Help, Andy, I'm literally dying. What's up? Holy shit, what's up? Did your leg get chopped off? What's going on? I don't have a girlfriend. And you're like, oh, okay, well, oh. My buddy, you got me a little worried there. That's okay, Drew. Where are you at right now? How do we move you forward a little bit? What level are you at in terms of women and dating and all of that? You're a level 1 character. Cool. Let's get you to level 2. Or, hey, Andy, help. Emergency. Holy shit, what's up? I'm literally dying. I'm fucking dying, bro. I'm literally dying. I'm dying. What? What the fuck is going on? This girl said no to me. And you're like, oh, okay. Dude, whoa. Scared me a little bit there, big boy. Jesus. Okay, so, all right. So, when it comes to resilience and stoicism and abundance mentality and outcome independence, maybe you're a level 1 character. Cool. How do we get you to level 2? Let's work on that. So I promise all of you, there is nothing wrong. There is a series of opportunities in front of you. If you could just see it as a video game, see it as fun, see it as exciting and cool, and man, I can't wait to get started, rather than every second I haven't finished, every second I haven't reached my goal, I am a failure. Again, that would be like booting up the fucking video game for the first time and being like, I'm failing. Bro, I failed the game. Dog, I haven't finished the game. Especially when some games take like fucking Zelda 100 hours or so. Baldur's Gate 3, like fucking 300 hours if you want to have a decent run. God damn it. Are you going to be a failure for every single one of those 300 hours? That's how a lot of you treat life. That's how most people treat life, by the way. I don't have enough money. Cool, get some money. But every single second I'm working on getting that money, I'm going to be a failure. And you're like, what? But it might take you a couple of years to get the money that you want. Does that mean you're going to be a failure for a couple of years? That would be like entering a marathon. They shoot the gun. They're like, go. And then you take your first step. You start jogging. You're like, I'm failing. God, this sucks. I can't even finish a marathon. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm never going to finish this marathon. I haven't even finished it yet. Like, what the fuck? What is the point of even, you know what? I quit. And you just walk off and people are like, hey, buddy, are you okay? And you're like, I can't do marathons. Like, this isn't me. I can't do this. I'm not worthy. And they're like, are you injured? Are you okay? You're like, no, I'm fine. But like, I just can't do a marathon. You know, what's the fucking point? I was failing the marathon. They're like, bro, you took like 2 steps. What do you mean failing? You were succeeding by even trying. You were a victor by entering the first fucking the race in the first place. Same thing applies to so many of you. You're out here trying. You're out here doing your fucking best. You're trying to level up your character. You're trying to do the best you can. That makes you a winner by default. If you're even in the game, you are a fucking winner. If you are trying to achieve something, you're a fucking winner. If you're watching this channel or any other self-improvement channel, you're a fucking winner. And hell, even if you're not working goals, if you're just existing, what a beautiful gift it is to be born a human being. That already is a success in itself. You could have been a fucking lion, and hell, even being a lion would be beautiful. You could have been some other animal that like lives for fucking 2 weeks and gets eaten by something else. You get to be a human being. That's a fucking blessing. Of all the animals and creatures on this planet, or that we have ever known, I'd like to be a human most of all. And we all get to be that. Isn't that a fucking blessing? You are all victors by even just existing. I promise you. And if you want a little bit more, if you want to go out there and achieve some goals and have some fun, treat it like a video game. It's a quest that you go on, you have fun. If you want more help with this, there's links down below to the coaching. These kind of mindsets are the mindsets that we empower you with in the coaching program, by the way. Like, this is literally what the coaching is like. If this video helped you, the coaching will help you 10 trillion times more. So there's links below. We got payment plans and all of that, so don't stress about money. But ladies, gentlemen, and lady gentlemen and gentlemen ladies and fucking anything or anyone else listening, or the lions out there, if there's any lions or hippos or snakes or animals out there listening, much love to you. You are all capable of greatness. You are all absolutely beautiful as you are right now. Now go out there and level that fucking video game character up 1 level at a time. Instead of saying, I'm a level 0 and I'm a failure, say, I'm a level 0. How do I get to level fucking 1? Oh, please, daddy. Oh, please. Oh, please. I'm going to stop being a fucking pussy. Please, I'm going to stop being a fucking pussy. Please, I'll be your fucking pussy. I'll be your fucking pussy.